Sweden have given us a lot to be thankful for. Affordable interior design solutions, meatballs, hot blondes. Not sure why that's on the hard drive. That's better. Oh, censored. A pretty decent football team and a fine set of fans to support them. Fantastic athletes in incredible shape. And of course, Swede Oft fragrances. Okay, so you may not have heard of the last one, but I'm going to tell you all about them. You know what to do. Stay tuned to Meatballs. One smaller than the other. Swede Oft are a brand new company based in Sweden, and I must say they've been catching my eye with their presentations and the packaging, so I was really eager to see how good the fragrances were. The company very kindly sent me 4 fragrances that I'm going to go through in this video, so let's get going. The first fragrance I'm going to talk about is called Rasputin. This is named after the famous mystic mad monk because his picture is on the box. Let's start off by taking a closer look at the bottle and the notes. This one has cardamom, patchouli, cinnamon, cloves, Mexican chocolate, incense, musk, tonka bean, pineapple, jasmine, bergamot, cedarwood and oud. It's an extra concentration. I'm not quite sure why they chose to name this after Rasputin, who was a bit of a villain in history, got a bit of a bad reputation. He was known to be a very interesting person, a very striking person. I feel this fragrance certainly is that. There's also another connection as well. The company claim that they make up the fragrance and before they bottle it, they immerse it in the Öresund, which is a stretch of water that separates Denmark and Sweden. They leave it there for 90 days and they claim that the compression, the pressure, allows the materials to bind together and blend in a completely unique way. And then they pull it up and bottle it for us to spray on. So this juice apparently has been left for 90 days at the bottom of the Öresund. And the legend goes about Rasputin that he was assassinated and then his body was tossed into the water. So there is a bit of a connection there. So I think that's quite a cool story. Now, I don't know how this would smell if it hadn't have been kept under pressure for 90 days, but I'm going to take their word for it because this is a beautiful composition. This one starts off with a blast of citruses. It's fresh, it's assertive, but quite quickly you're into the heart of this. And something that I really enjoy is, to me, it seems to be this pairing of this Mexican chocolate and the incense. So the Mexican chocolate, I'm not quite sure what Mexican chocolate is, but what this reminds me of is chili chocolate. So if you've ever tasted chili chocolate, you get the lovely smooth sweetness of the chocolate and then you just get that nice kind of little punch from the spices. This seems to be doing a similar thing, but obviously in scent terms. And then swirling all around the heart of this fragrance, just like that, that's good swirling, is the incense, and it just seems to add this really mysterious and quite intoxicating quality. Again, I think that ties in with the legend of Rasputin. As it dries down, the oriental aspects of this fragrance seem to come through, so we get the vanilla and the woods, and then that kind of chili chocolate and incense is still there, and we're still getting a little bit of freshness from the top, although not quite as much as in the opening. This opens just, it's amazing, and the dry down is fantastic. I get brilliant performance from this. This is, I wouldn't say it's an obnoxious beast mode performer, but you get a very respectable 8 hours or so. I think projection, you're looking around the 2 to 3 hour mark. It is very, very pleasant. If you like fragrances like Clive Christian X, Creed's Royal Oud, it's not exactly the same as those fragrances, but it's kind of in the same genre. So if you like those fragrances, then that just gives you some idea of what this one smells like. So let me tell you about the prices on this one, because I think prices are pretty reasonable. For 100ml, which is the bottle I'm holding here, you're paying €122. For 50ml, you'll be paying around €100, and then for 30ml, you'll be paying €52. I think that's pretty good value. there are other fragrances that this remind me of, kind of luxury aromatic type fragrances that are a lot more expensive than this one. For me, this is crisp, it's clean, it's refined, it's gentlemanly, it's sophisticated. This is a beautiful fragrance. If you can't get no royal satisfaction, then you may like this one. It's called Royal Satisfaction. Let's take a closer look at the bottle and the notes. Only 3 notes listed by the brand for this one. There's saffron, patchouli and agarwood. As you can see, this one is a different bottle size to Rasputin, which was 100ml. This one is 30ml, it's a little bit cheaper. This bottle size is going to set you back €42 for the 30ml. You can pay €90 for the 50ml or €118 for the 100ml. So this one is interesting. Obviously, there are more notes in here than the brand list. It can't just have 3 notes in there. And the notes that they've given don't really signpost to me how it smells. I don't really get much oud. I don't really get a lot of patchouli from this one. I do get a bit of saffron, but I think there are some other spices in here as well. Possibly some cinnamon, possibly some cloves. Also, I feel like the sweetness in here, this is quite a sweet fragrance, so there's probably some vanilla, maybe some tonka bean in here, but the overall accord from this one is a warming, sweet, woody type of scent. But at the same time as this sweet, woody accord, it also has quite an airiness about it. It's got a brightness to it, a little bit of energy going on, so it's not just a thick, heavy, kind of gourmand scent. This is a really nicely balanced composition. It's not a big, strong fragrance, but I don't think it's designed to be. It's certainly not a beast mode fragrance. It's quite subtle in its projection. It does last. In terms of longevity, I was getting around 8 hours, if not a little bit more than that. But in terms of projection, it's going to stay fairly minimal. It's not going to project too much. And I think for those reasons, this would be a great kind of daytime signature scent. It would be possibly a great work scent. If you want to wear a really lovely kind of sweet scent that is not going to be too sweet and too shouty, then Royal Satisfaction is going to be one definitely to try. I think the name of this is pretty good as well because it does make you think of regal sophistication. If you like fragrances like Naxos, but that's a little too loud, a little too shouty and too cloying, then this is a fragrance that you might like to try. Royal Satisfaction certainly is very satisfying. The next one is called Cambodian Oud. Again, this one is in the smaller 30ml size. The brand only list Cambodian Oud as the fragrance note in this one, but let me assure you there's a lot more going on in here. This is very similar to Tom Ford's Oud Wood, so let's take a closer look at the bottle and the notes that I think are probably in this. So I'm guessing there's some rosewood, some cardamom, pepper, sandalwood, vanilla, amber and vetiver. So yes, this is absolutely based on the Tom Ford Oud Wood DNA. You might be asking, so is this company a clone company? I would say no. I think that maybe they do use some DNAs from popular fragrances, but they put their own twist. They maybe use better, higher quality materials. So don't be put off by the fact that this fragrance is very similar to Oud Wood. This fragrance is absolutely gorgeous. I love Tom Ford's Oud Wood. I think it is one of the most classy, gentlemanly, sophisticated, sexy fragrances that I own. I will say that compared to Oud Wood, and there's not much of a difference if I'm honest, but compared to Oud Wood, I think it smells a little richer, a little deeper, and I believe what is going on with this fragrance is natural oud. So I think Swede Oft have used natural Cambodian oud, and Tom Ford use a very good but synthetic oud accord. So I think because of the natural Cambodian oud that's used in this fragrance, it just smells, well, a little bit more natural and a little bit richer. I think in the air people wouldn't really be able to tell too much difference, but certainly wearing it and testing it side by side with Oud Wood, I could tell a little bit of a difference. That doesn't really equate to better performance. So some people feel that Oud Wood is slightly lacking in performance. They wish that it would last a little bit longer. I thought that might be the case, perhaps with more natural ingredients being used, but on my skin, I got similar performance to Oud Wood. So not really much more to say about this one. If you like Oud Wood, you know what you're getting with this one.
Join the Scent Geeks every Monday as we podcast about all things fragrance. You'll find us anywhere you can usually find a podcast. Links are in the description below this video. See you there, geeks.
So the last one is called 565. I'm not really quite sure why it's called that. Let's have a look at the notes of this one. So in this one, we've got citrus, fruits, musk and amber. This one sits up there in that slightly higher price bracket with Cambodian Oud and Rasputin. The fruit in this to me is the heart of the fragrance, and I'm not sure what the fruit is because they don't list it, but it seems to have a bit of an exotic type of scent, so I'm guessing maybe passion fruit or lychee. And when you get one of these smooth, well-rounded exotic fruits mixed with the musk and the woods, these types of fragrances always give me what I describe as a cakey accord to it, which I really enjoy. It's the most unisex of all the fragrances that I've tried. It's also the biggest in terms of its projection and longevity, so this one definitely has the best performance out of all the ones that I've tried. Very enjoyable. If you like fruity, musky, woody scents, then 565 will be one for you to try. So that's all the fragrances covered. Before I finish, I just want to talk briefly about the presentation, which certainly is very eye-catching, very well thought out, and a lot of money has been spent on the presentation. So if you buy the 100ml bottle, you get this wooden type cargo box with the lovely string wrapped around, and what is a really nice touch is the red wax seal with the Swede Oft logo printed on there. So this type of presentation for me is above and beyond. And whilst some people aren't really concerned about presentation, I think it's a nice touch. I think it's a nice touch considering that you're getting very high quality fragrances for quite a reasonable cost. So these kind of DNAs, these kind of compositions are available in the luxury niche market at much higher cost than what you're getting here. So I think it's a company that's well worth looking into. I'm going to leave the details for Swede Oft in the description below the video. So you'll find the link there. You can click through and have a browse. They are based in Sweden, not 100% sure of the shipping. I'm guessing they will ship worldwide, and it's going to be a little more expensive if you want to ship to the States, unless they can secure some kind of outlet, some kind of retail outlet in the States. I'm not sure about that. The company will let us know in due course. Pretty sure that you can ship from their website to the UK, and they may even be able to ship from within the UK at some point. So it's a company that's certainly worth keeping an eye on. Check out their website, see what they've got to offer. I'm really impressed with the company so far, and I think we can watch with interest. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling meatballs.